want our Canada back. We want Canada to have its own voice on the world stage. We have to act now. Doing nothing is not enough. Work together, because we are stronger together. All Canadians together. Harper does not understand the role of the government to help the people, and Jack Layton does not understand the market economy. But we understand both. He does not believe that the government can be a positive force in Canada and on the world stage. I will work with the G7 countries, the G8 countries, with the countries of the world. This is a world crisis. Canada will be a good partner for the world. Stephen Harper has no plan. Maybe if Stephen Harper spent less time distorting me and my plan, he would have been able to release a platform of his own by now. With only some days left in this election, is too little, too late. Stephen Harper's agenda is one of distortion and dishonesty. He may speak better English than I do, but I speak the language of truth better than him. And I have set a better team than Stephen Harper. What he has as a team on Vancouver Island? Gary Lamb. Let me tell you, when the head of the Nuclear Safety Commission came to see Stephen Harper and said, your minister was sleeping on the switch. We have a safety problem. If he would have been a leader, he would have fired the minister, not the head of the Nuclear Safety Commission. It's an attempt to intimidate scientists, to intimidate officials, to intimidate anyone who's in disagreement with them. This is damaging our democracy. We don't consider independent advisors as political opponents. And you don't consider political opponents as enemies, not in the Canada that we love. Now, Canadians who today are thinking they may vote for the NDP, or think that they may vote for the Liberals, we share the same values. We share the same social goals. A fairer Canada. We are very alike. We share the same goal. What is the difference, though? It's not only that at the end of the day, the choice is between a liberal government or a conservative government. And then the vote for the NDP may create more space for the danger of a vote for a conservative government. It's not only that. It's that if we want to deliver the social justice, the fair Canada that we share as NDPers and Liberals, then we need to have a strong economy. And only the Liberal plan may deliver a strong economy. It's not that we don't share the same goals. We want to fight poverty. We want to fight climate change. We want to have childcare. Liberals and NDPers want the same. But for that, we need a strong market economy. And only the Liberal plan may deliver both a strong market economy and more social justice in our country. So I'm saying to all Canadians, we want a strong economy. Don't continue to support the Conservatives. They are awful managers of the economy. And not only in Canada, but everywhere in the world. President Clinton was managing the economy okay in the United States. In 8 years, George W. Bush changed it in a nightmare. Well, I think Tony Blair was better manager of the economy than Madame Thatcher or Mr. Major. And Jean Chrétien Palmerton better than Brian Mulroney. Years, Stephen Harper has changed the strongest economy in the history of Canada, in the weakest economy of the G8 countries. They are awful managers of the economy. Everyone who cares about the economy, join us, join the Liberal Party from coast to coast to coast. All Canadians who care about the fight against climate change, the climate change crisis, you know that we cannot wait. You know that the world needs Canada as a leader. Not a lagger, a hero, not a zero. The crisis is there. We cannot wait. We cannot afford to have more years of Stephen Harper in action and sabotage at the international stage. Canada. And I'm telling you, Canadians who care about the environment and the fight against climate change, never you will have a greener Prime Minister, a more greener Prime Minister than me. All Canadians, the whole of our country, we want to fight poverty. All Canadians who care to be a country where you have not so much people outside in the street in the cold climate we have. All Canadians who want to stop to be in a country where 900,000 children are in poverty with their parents. All Canadians who want to help our seniors to live in dignity. Look at the Liberal plan. We have all these policies there. You will never find a Prime Minister more committed than me than to reduce poverty by a third and by half for children over 5 years. Vote for the 30-50 plan of the Liberal government if you care about poverty. All Canadians who care and want to protect our artists against any attempt of censorship. We think that it's good to invest in arts and culture in tough times because the return to the investment is great. We want more movies, more novels, to be inspired by our creators. Look, the Liberal plan is the best policy for arts and culture. We need to have this plan now. Supporters of the NDP and supporters of the Liberals, we want more childcare spaces. Hey, we want more. We wanted that in 2006. Mr. Layton said, lend me your vote. And we didn't have one space created over 2 years and a half. Not one with Stephane Harper. So what we need to do is to say to Mr. Layton, we want our vote back. With interest. We want more doctors and nurses. And we want also to be sure that we'll be in a country where no one is in the obligation to sell his or her house to pay for his or her medication or the one of their relatives. It's the Canada that we love, and this Canada, we need to build it the 14th of October together. This is about action over protest. This is about purpose over complaint. To all Canadians, from coast to coast to coast, I say, join me. Join the Liberal team. Join the Liberal Party of Canada. So that not only we will stop Stephane Harper, but we will replace Stephane Harper by a progressive government for all Canadians. Yeah. Let me conclude on a personal note. I came in politics at the request of Mr. Chrétien, in fact at the request of Madame Chrétien, to help my daughter Jeanne to enjoy British Columbia as part of our country, and to be sure that your children and grandchildren will enjoy Quebec as part of their country. I did it not only because of your Rocky Mountains, they are beautiful, but first and foremost because of you. Because I am convinced that Vancouver and Montreal, Victoria and Quebec City will be stronger because there are no international border between us. We are facing the same challenges. You facing Pacific Ocean and us the Atlantic Ocean. But it's the same challenges to be sure that we'll have more fairness in our country, that we'll have a future for our children with a healthy environment, that we'll face the difficulties of today and the one of tomorrow with a strong economy, that always will be proud of the role that Canada is playing in the world. What is at stake, the 14th of October, is fundamental. One of the most striking elections of our history, because the gulf of differences between this very right-wing conservative government that has nothing to do with the former progressive government, progressive conservative party, and what we liberals are proposing for a fairer, richer, greener Canada, it's a gulf of difference larger than these two oceans together. So what I want is that after this hard work we'll do in the coming week and days, one of the most important days of our history, when we will cast our vote, the 14th of October, you will cast your vote. After you will go home, and you will look at your children and grandchildren in the eyes, and you will be able to say, I voted for me. For the tough time you are facing, we need help from our government. I voted for me, but I voted for you too, to be sure you will have a great future. This is what is at stake. This is why we need to win en français, en anglais, partout, tous ensemble. And I'm convinced that we will win. Thank you.